The road to the national championship continues as we welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh for the second round of the NCAA women's volleyball tournament. Alexis Shelton helped lead the A seed, the Oklahoma Sooners, on a reverse sweep of UTEP, while Pitt was led by a double-double from the ACC Player of the Year, Olivia Babcock, as Panthers got past Morehead State. Whitney Wallace to serve for Oklahoma. And right away, even a little out of system, Valeria Vasquez-Gomez able to get a point to start this.
But that's something that the Panthers do at an elite level, a lot of things, but in specifically doing out-of-system plays. And you'll see that a lot tonight, and it'll be a big battle between these two teams who can have those out-of-system plays be more efficient.
And the aforementioned Rachel Fairbanks. And Chamberlain sets perfectly for Lydia Martin, and it's 1-1.
And that is what happens when you have the perfect pass. It makes Peyton Chamberlain's job super easy, and then Lydia Martin can just eat.
Hitting .365 on the season, Martin is. And Bree Kelly. Attempt block, and Alexis Shelton blocked at the net by Olivia Babcock.
And they had their hands on it, but I think that one at first hit the antenna off of the hand of Shelton, so that automatically ends the play, point over to the Panthers, but that block was there.
Vasquez-Gomez to serve, her 6th season out of Puerto Rico. Fairbanks set up Babcock with a touch this time. Good recognition and a block by Kelly Jo Burgess was in on that. Sydney Thompson to serve for the Sooners, the junior from Tulsa. Fairbanks with the bump set. Tori Stafford.
And again, another out-of-system play that you get a point off of. That's what's going to be so huge when you're playing in tight matches. First of all, she puts that, she's completely backwards. She puts it in the perfect location.
I was just going to talk about the placement of that ball right on the pin, right where Tori Stafford wants it. And that, while she's running away from Tori Stafford and using her arms to set it.
First subs, Kat Flood and Ryla Jones. And that set a little bit off. Fairbanks to set Stafford. Chamberlain. Shelton thought she saw something in the back, but unable to convert it. Panthers keep it alive. And in by Tori Stafford.
Set up by Olivia Babcock. So Olivia Babcock trying to fill up her score sheet and get an assist early on there. Right in the corner, wow.
And Erin Mansfield was right there to see it, and no challenge. 4-2 Panthers. And an ace for Kat Flood. 26th of the season for Kat.
If you're the Panthers, that's what you want to see early, is really tough serving, making that Oklahoma Sooners serve receive really uncomfortable. And look at that, yesterday with 11 aces, which ties a program record in the NCAA tournament, but really, really impressive.
Chamberlain sets Shelton. Looked like they had a couple going up in the same area, but Shelton able to put it away.
Yeah, one of those set plays that you're gonna run right off of serve receive. So you could see Ryla Jones going up with Kelly Jo Burgess, which leaves that single block on the outside for Babcock and not getting set up on the hitter's shoulder.
Shelton had a couple of aces yesterday as Babcock was set. Good block by Oklahoma. And blocked back. Olivia Babcock off the swing of Camille Gibson.
So Babcock has an early block, an early assist. Now she just needs to get on the score sheet for a kill, and she's already filling it up.
And there's this.
Oh, nice pass.
Well played off a tough serve by Oklahoma. Camille Gibson finishes it. Aaron Mansfield, just his second season and turning Oklahoma around into a NCAA tournament team in 2 years. Program back in the NCAAs for the first time since 2019. Olivia Babcock, long, and it's 6-5.
And Jeff, this is a Sooners team that last year, they only had 4 wins in the SEC. So doubling up their wins from one season to another really shows you that progression that Aaron Mansfield was able to bring this season.
Grad student Callie Kimoha. Stafford, the overpass here as Rachel Fairbanks creates room to get that set off.
Absolutely beautiful. But also, that's what you want to see off of a free ball. Like in these big games, you have to execute off of this type of overpass. That's basically a free ball. Rachel Fairbanks gets her feet set, and what a cut inside, turning that thumb down.
But you could
open up the
see
inner half of the floor.
Lydia Martin having to wait a second just to make sure that ball wasn't going to go to the right pin.
Martin, good dig by Emmy Kwika, and Rachel Babcock turns it into a point.
And that's what passing does, you know? To keep that middle holding so that they're going to be a little late, whether it's to the outside to the right side, the passing forces them to hold that middle right on the inside.
Because on that previous play, Ryla Jones actually didn't run back for an offensive set, so really it was just the pins that were ready.
And, it's not as rough, but we saw in the first set with Oklahoma yesterday where they didn't get into their rhythm until, late into the second.
Yeah, a little slow, a little messy to start.
And a 4-point lead for the Panthers. And another thing you notice, another good serve, good middle play by Ryla Jones to get the block.
Really impressive by the freshman there. One-on-one going up against Lydia Martin, the grad student. So that's a lot of experience against a freshman, and Ryla Jones takes that one.
And Stafford just off the top of the net. Dan Fisher, and I don't know if an right adjective I have, considering what he's done for volleyball. 317 wins to 68 losses in his 12-year career.
And how about 9 straight NCAA tournament first round wins?
Is that good?
I'd say so.
Well, we could go on. And a good block, but out of bounds. Kill by Babcock. Panthers up early, 11-6.
And we're seeing our first NCAA tournament appearance by Bree Kelly, 21 for the Panthers. Has had a tremendous season. First team All-ACC, but look at that efficiency with the hit percentage. I mean, that's over 1 of every 2 kills is going to the ground.
Mallory Meyer in to serve for Pitt. Thompson sets Geisberger. Well played by Oklahoma.
And again, when you get that great first pass, then Peyton Chamberlain has all of her hitters at her disposal and can also set a quick ball out to the near pin for us for the 6'7" Geisberger.
Whitney Wallace started this match off. She's back serving again. Vasquez Gomez finds space in the back. It's 12-7.
Really good early production from the outside.
And Kelsey, I find it interesting that they're going after Tori Stafford in serve receive because she's been probably one of the most consistent passers that we've seen all season.
But also, like, who do you go after on this Pitt side in serve receive? You have
True.
Emmy Klicka, you have Tori Stafford, and Valeria Vasquez Gomez. All 3 of them with outstanding abilities in serve receive.
Shelton is blocked at the net. It may have been set a little ahead of where she wanted to.
But a lot of that, too, is just based on the pass. The pass is out of system. The Pitt side is easy to set up onto the outside, and then it is an easy block for the Panthers. And we're going to a timeout here. Olivia Babcock being a right side her primary responsibility is the opposing team's outside, and then Shelton, being an outside, is the primary blocker for the opposing team's right side. So they're going one-on-one, Amanda.
And it's awesome. And usually you're talking about the pin hitters being opposite of each other and outsides, but to have them actually battling head-to-head is awesome. And you can see last night Shelton had a little bit of a rough start to the NCAA tournament for her, but then she really turned it on in sets 3 through 5, and they needed that to pick up the win against UTEP.
Shelton able to rise up, but she missed wide on the hit.
Oh, we might get a challenge here.
And the Pitt players immediately, they're not saying a touch either.
That's
what
what
the ref right here just said.
The line judge on the right called a touch, and that's who I think he deferred to say that's who the touch was.
And you can see the Panthers were very adamant that there was not a touch on that play. It was clearly out, the ball, but what? Who touched that ball? The closest thing is Rachel Fairbanks' foot.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe there was something along the line.
I mean, that's really far wide of the block. I don't see anywhere where that touches a Panthers player. Do you?
No, I think that if you're the Panthers, you're going to be feeling pretty good about this. And you said it. They were adamant. And here, in this day and age with the replay, you're not going to say that and hide something. You're saying that because you truly believe that you can get that point back.
And you also don't want to say to your coach, challenge it, because each coach only has 2 challenges. And if you lose it, you don't get it back. And that's for sets 1 through 4.
Yeah, honesty is key with the challenges.
The beauty is we have the technology to be able to change and reverse the call.
And usually you have the opposing head coach go over to the ref and ask what was going on with that call, but I think Aaron Mansfield knew the situation on that one.
Pitt is hitting .417 to start this match. A 7-point lead early. Chamberlain. Great decision by Kari Geisberger.
And that's the advantage that you have when you're 6'7", to be able to see the entire court over top of any block that would be in front of you.
Geisberger, who came from Loyola Marymount with the head coach a year later. And what an impact she has made in getting the Sooners back to the NCAAs. As Lydia Martin will check back in. Oklahoma is hitting zeros so far in this first set. Blocked at the net. Kicking it up with a kick is Emmy Klicka, but double hit called.
Yeah, unfortunately, she used her hands first and then also her foot to be able to try to keep that ball alive. If someone would have touched it in between, it would have been allowed. But I think that's what Dan Fisher's trying to say, that there was someone that touched it in between. Interesting.
And Dan's going to challenge. We went almost the entire night yesterday with 1 challenge, and now we've already got our 2nd.
So are we thinking, Kelsey, that he's saying that someone else touched it in between Emmy touching it?
That would, I mean, would that be the easiest way to look? I mean, because if not, if she's touching it twice, it's really not a call. Because, I mean, the new double touch rule does not apply to 2 separate, completely separate touches. It's just consecutive.
Here we go. Well, it looks like
Oh, that might have been Bree,
yeah.
In which case,
That's amazing to be that alert.
So it will be a replay then, because they blew the play
exactly,
dead.
yeah, because now it doesn't matter where that ball landed. That's irrelevant. If you blow that dead, it goes to a replay.
And what's lucky for Pitt is that would have been out.
That's
that would have
actually
been Oklahoma's
better
point.
that they blew it before the ball hit the ground, because once the ball hits the ground, it's dead anyways.
We'll see what gets called. And again, the looks that we're seeing are not necessarily what the down ref is seeing.
Yep.
So we just want to point that out. They're looking at different angles than we are, but it looks like their hands are on top of each other, and Breeze was on top of Emmys in that situation to push the ball up.
You guys both played. The alertness in that situation to not only be able to kick it, but kick it in the air.
And over the net, actually.
Right. I mean, you know, we've talked about Emmy, but probably not enough in what she brings to the Panther program with the defense that she plays.
Kelsey, you love the liberos.
You know, the liberos never get enough love. Guys, they're like the offensive line. You know, when they're doing their job, all the cool and fancy stuff is happening, all the flashy plays, so it's very easy to forget it.
So they're going to keep it.
Oh. Original call confirmed.
So they're saying it was out, but and we have Dan Fisher talking to the down ref, Rachel Fairbanks talking to the up ref. But I think both Dan Fisher and Rachel Fairbanks are confused because they're saying that it was out, but they knew that the ball was out.
Yeah.
That's not what they were challenging. But
early in this first set to lose one of your two challenges.
Yeah.
An overpass, so the Panthers unable to get it over, double hit. And it's 15-10. A couple straight points for the Sooners. Oklahoma looking to build some momentum with Sydney Thompson serving. Wallace sets up Shelton, who's blocked but out of bounds. Now 3 straight for Oklahoma.
It's always interesting to see how teams react when there's a little bit of chaos with something like a challenge where you're upset. How are you going to regroup? I mean, because now Oklahoma looks very locked in.
Bree Kelly in the middle.
But that'll end it right there. With authority, Bree Kelly in the middle.
Welcome to the tournament, Bree Kelly. Oh, and behind the setter.
And you can see
just
Alexis
no
Shelton
chance.
thinking, because Olivia Babcock is on that near pin, I need to shade towards her. And then there's a huge block in the or huge hole in the middle of the block.
16-11. Fairbanks back set to Babcock. There's a chance, Chamberlain. Good set to Kelly Jo Burgess. Well-placed hit by Burgess. If you missed yesterday, you're not an Oklahoma fan. They're a team that likes to have fun. They're loose. So you'll see them, obviously not on a service error, but you'll see them dancing around and doing things that you don't see from a lot of teams, but that's just who they are. Olivia Babcock at 17-12. How about Oklahoma getting a point out of that?
That's a big point. To get Olivia Babcock off the service line, you thought that was going to be an ace, but Peyton Chamberlain very calmly goes all the way over. You can see here, and then just putting that ball up high and right over top of the block.
Tipped by the Panthers, and trying to save it was Shelton and unable to do so.
And we talked about the vision of Kelly Jo Burgess, or excuse me, Kari Geisberger, because she's 6'7", but Tori Stafford can get up, so she saw the defense behind that block and hit it in the perfect spot.
And this is that rotation for Pitt where they've subbed out Rachel Fairbanks. So Tori Stafford is going to act as the pseudo setter for this half of a rotation. Blair Bayless comes in to act as like a spot blocker, beef up your front line a little bit.
Camille Gibson wanted a challenge, but instead a timeout for Oklahoma at 19-12 here. Panthers hitting 353. Oklahoma's improved to hitting 130, but Pitt has stopped any run that Oklahoma has tried to start.
And it's a lot of errors from both teams at times, but also just both teams really playing strong. So it's one or the other really right now. It's either they're playing really strong or they're just automatically having an error. But it seems like for Oklahoma, those come at really costly times. With the service error that we just saw a few points ago, that ended a run that they were going on and lost, and that kind of halted all of their momentum at that time.
I think both teams have comparable front rows where you got big pins, really physical, can match up well with everyone. You got middles who are very mobile, can block well, can also be efficient, which is what you need to be in the middle. But then the back row is really what's going to separate it. And you're looking at this here. Where does a lot of that start? In the back row with the pass. You know, last night we saw Friday against Morehead State 265 for Pitt, and then tonight so far, I mean, really efficient. That's what you want to see.
Well, you speak to the inconsistencies for Oklahoma. Oklahoma has more kills than Pitt, but trailing 19-13.
And then you also look at the Panthers have 3 blocks against 1 for Oklahoma, so you're getting a couple of points there. And then just 1 service ace for the Panthers, but no errors, and then 2 errors at the service line for Oklahoma.
Sooners 15-10 coming in. Panthers at 30-1. Oklahoma the 8th seed. Pitt the top overall seed for the tournament for the first time in school history, as Tori Stafford will serve. See how the timeout affected her serve.
Got iced.
And that's why you call that timeout. Yep. If you're Aaron Mansfield, chalk up the point to Coach Mansfield there.
Peyton Chamberlain, the senior from Roanoke, Texas, does have 12 aces on the season. She doesn't really mess around. Kind of old school. But effective, and a good block. I think that was Lydia Martin.
Her serve did the exact job you wanted to do. It's not about an ace. If you can get them out of system, look where Rachel Fairbanks had to set that from. That's putting them in a super difficult spot, and Lydia Martin read that like a book.
And from the back, great dig by Kimoha. And blocked the net, fell on the Pitt side. It's 19-16 all of a sudden. And looks like Pitt's gonna call a timeout.
And that was just through the Pitt block. They were fully set up. They just didn't get their hands across the net. You could see there the great dig from Kimoha. And then right here, just press over, not in time.
Riley Jones' hands just a little off the net, but that's all you need is that little bit of room to push that ball
just
through.
Enough space.
And Oklahoma is looking grim at 19-13. Now you're only down 3. Still a number of points left in this first set. It's an Oklahoma team that's good at the net. Of course, when you're 6'7" on one part of that net, but they'll block you as good as most teams in the country.
And I think this is a big part of how they play. They want to be super physical up front. They don't want to be super reliant on their back row players on defense. They want you to be intimidated and then let that defense translate into offense if it has to, but they'd rather just put that ball straight to the ground.
Or at least get their hands on it at the net so they're slowing it down for their defense. That's a big factor too. If you have a team that's just teeing off against you, then that's not gonna help anyone. But if you can at least get those block touches and get the ball slowed down, then that helps to get that offense set up by Peyton Chamberlain. 2
blocks for Geisberger, 2 for Burgess early on. 3 kills for Camille Gibson to lead Oklahoma. Tori Stafford with 3, leading the Panthers. It's the first set here in Pittsburgh, second round of the NCAA tournament. With Peyton Chamberlain still serving. Vasquez Gomez able to put that away and get Pitt to 20.
every time you need a kill, if Vasquez Gomez is there, she's going to put it down for you.
And I really like her working with tempo. Not necessarily a super high set, but get that ball out there quick and let that fast arm work.
But also because she's not the tallest hitter that you'll see. Listed as 6'1", and that might be a little bit generous, but it's just not the tallest, so you need to utilize that tempo.
Blair Bayless also in for the Panthers after the Mallory Myers serve, and Geisberger puts it away. Get it right back for Oklahoma.
Another one of those out-of-system plays that's successful for Oklahoma. A very, very high set, but I think that works to the advantage of Geisberger with it being so high. Yes, the block has time to set up, but she also has time to see where the block is setting up.
Whitney Wallace's dad played at Santa Barbara, mom at Santa Clara. And continues that volleyball tradition in the family. As Tori Stafford is blocked, Lydia Martin.
Wow, that's big.
The Panthers usually have a lot of success with that back row attack, but early on here in this first set, Oklahoma ready for it.
The hometown crowd trying to encourage the Panthers. And an off-balance set attempt by Fairbanks, and now a shot for Oklahoma. Geisberger from the right side, and it's a 1-point first set.
Made it way too easy on Oklahoma. You send over a push like that, that's just about the same as sending over a free ball, and makes it really easy for Peyton Chamberlain to deal.
And you can see there, Bree Kelly just a second too late on that block, and going right through was Geisberger.
Vasquez Gomez gets the point for the Panthers. And now Rachel Fairbanks will serve for Pitt. And you mentioned Vasquez Gomez with big points. She's had a couple big ones here in this set. Leads Panthers with 4 kills. Geisberger set again. Vasquez Gomez knocked down this time. Lydia Martin, she's been all over the place.
And you could see the block just camping out on that outside with the way that that first pass went. Nowhere to go with that one.
That's a wall right there.
Triple block too. They put everybody over.
Bree Kelly is blocked. And now Olivia Babcock hits through that block. It's 22-20.
Big play there from Babcock. Just picking up her 3rd kill of this match. So Oklahoma has done a good job of keeping her at bay and not really letting her get going.
Geisberger gets the point right back for Oklahoma. And back and forth we go here over the last few points. It wasn't rally scoring. It might be a very low scoring first set. Again, Thompson to serve. And it good decision there. You wonder if Tori Stafford thought about the last time and just tipped that over.
But a really good set from Rachel Fairbanks. She missed on the last time that she tried to push one of those quicks to the outside, and she wasn't going to miss again. And you could see the block not anywhere where it needs to be and leaves a big hole in the middle of the court.
Oklahoma, after hitting zeros for a good part of the first set, is now up at 250. Shelton tries to do the same thing right back. Babcock. Tip right there. Babcock. Kimoha sets up Shelton.
Once you hit 20 points, you're kind of in that red zone type of area where it is very important to score points. This is where you give these nice high balls. And again, Pitt went with the triple block there, but against Shelton, she does not care. She can cut that ball around it. This is when you give the ball to your go-tos late in a match.
And in to serve for Oklahoma is the sophomore Ireland McNeese. And a kill in the middle for Ryla Jones, the freshman, with a huge point, and we are at set point.
And look there, just no real block up at all as Kelly Jo Burgess late, and then no one else joining her.
Great pass from Stafford.
Now the risk-reward serve. Chance here for the Panthers. Lori Stafford dug. Dig by McNeese, but an overpass. Panthers couldn't put it away. Gibson is blocked. Saved by Kimoha. And that hit is tipped, even though it landed out of bounds, and Oklahoma stays alive.
Big miss in the middle of that rally on the overpass. I mean, yeah, I looked across the court and could see Dan Fisher shaking his head. If that ball comes over, you can't just tap it back.
Kimoha. Oh, and you saw there's some indecision on whether to let that go, and now a free ball for the Sooners to tie it. Lori Stafford blocked down, and we're 24 all in the first. And Dan Fisher's going to take a timeout. Oklahoma battling back. It was 19-13, and we're 24 all.
And a couple of big moments, like I just talked about. We'll take a look at this last play. Another out-of-system play, but you could see there the block just perfectly set up. Lydia Martin right in the, you could see Peyton Chamberlain there with the excitement, but a few miscues there when the Panthers had a chance to finish this set. One of them being the overpass where they missed it, and then the other one, that last serve there, not really sure if it was gonna go in or out, so Vasquez Gomez at the last second having to try to pass it. And
I mean, they spent this entire rally out of system, and you have to understand, because it starts with the pass, when that first pass is not up to where it should be, the domino effect for the other side is you get to make a lot easier choices on defense. The middle doesn't have to hang out with the middle because she knows she's not getting the ball. So let me go now. I can go camp out in front of Tori Stafford and make her life way harder.
It's interesting. You don't normally see Dan Fisher that animated in a timeout, but he's obviously trying to get a message through to his team as Oklahoma will serve now at 24 all. And this is an Oklahoma team that won at Texas. So tough environments, they've been through them and been successful in them before.
Not afraid of the moment, and you have, you got a nice mix on the team, but you have that group of older players who came in and can really kind of be those leaders, not necessarily tournament experience, but experience with volleyball in big matches.
And to your guys' point, and you have a quarterback that's been around for a long time. Kimoha to serve. Olivia Babcock is blocked. Panthers keep it alive. Babcock again, blocked down. Lydia Martin.
wow. Lydia Martin now 4 blocks already in this first set.
It seems like 14.
So the first time saying that Lydia Martin didn't touch it, but I think it went off her backhand there.
And an error.
I do like the strategy, though, that Oklahoma is really avoiding Emmy Klicka and going towards both Tori Stafford and Valeria Vasquez-Gomez. And what else that does is it makes them work twice as hard. And then we've got Dylan Griffin coming in to serve here. So again, tough moment, haven't been in all game, and now you've got to come in and throw over a really tough serve to put your team in an advantage spot on defense.
And Griffin's been in before. There has to be a win by 2. So this is not set point, but it will set up set point for Oklahoma after the kill by Camille Gibson.
And they're a really good pass from Oklahoma that set up the decision for Chamberlain, and she was able to utilize whichever hitter she wanted, so the Panthers block not set up.
Oh my gosh, Sydney Thompson has to play up front right now.
That stays alive. And a free ball for the Panthers. Fairbanks sets it back to Tori Stafford.
Did they
and
run
Pitt
out of
stays
subs?
alive.
Sydney Thompson, 24 in red, having to play front row. She's listed at 5'9". You kind of said it earlier about Amy Klicka. Might be a little generous, which means you know she's not going to get set. So now you're thinking, look, she's going up for this block. Oh, she got hands over, though. Got to give her credit there.
Mallory
But
Meyer.
that's a huge advantage on this near pin for the Panthers.
Panthers block at that time. Gibson is blocked down. Bree Kelly.
Oh my goodness. Sheesh.
They're doing so with the freshman. And you'll see during the season, Dan Fisher will work in Mallory Meyer in tough situations for this moment right here. And a bump set to Gibson. Panthers keep that alive. Vasquez Gomez is long. Point, Oklahoma.
And I think we're getting the challenge, which would be your second. If you were to lose it, you would be out for the remainder of the match.
Which would be huge.
Huge, as we're sitting here in the first set right now, tied at 27-27. To not have any challenges for the rest of this match until we would potentially get to a fifth set.
I mean, it looks like it's long. That's not a question. It's got to be whether there's a touch.
Oh, absolutely.
It looks like Lydia's hand might move there. But how do you over?
If anything, it would have to be like her pinky.
Pinky, yeah.
Yep.
And the big thing with me on challenges is always that whatever the call was on the court. So the call as it was on the court was that there was not a touch. So they have to find that video evidence that's going to show you that there was a touch.
And as Amanda said earlier, there are different cameras that the refs are looking at than what we're showing right now. But it looks like a decision has been made fairly quickly. And there was indeed a touch. Well, good challenge for Dan Fisher.
A really risky one, but it pays off big time.
Oklahoma fights back, gets it even, but the Panthers find a way in a back and forth first set. 28-26 Pitt. We head to set number 2 here in Pittsburgh. Almost as she was coming back down, and a free ball here for Pitt. It's a little different hit from Kelly there, and it's 1-0 Panthers.
And I love the decision on that play. So there was a moment where Olivia Babcock was about to pass that, but then Tori Stafford said,
Right
no,
here.
I'm gonna get that so you can get set up right there, and then that left the offense ready to go. So great job by Tori Stafford taking control of that pass.
Oklahoma hit 220 in first set. 230 for the Panthers as Amy Klicka keeps that alive. Vasquez Gomez just taps it over. Chamberlain with a good one-handed play. And Pitt was a little... The call was for out, and it wasn't. And a little miscommunication this time by the Panthers. And it wasn't a pretty point, but Oklahoma is able to find a way to get it.
Very confused on that play. Emmy Klicka was just kind of standing there saying in, and then Vasquez Gomez was saying out, so you would hope that Klicka would get that.
Olivia Babcock is blocked.
Fairbanks got handcuffed there, play at the net and just send it over, and Vasquez Gomez is saying out, and Klika is right there.
I think she just expected Valeria Vasquez Gomez to take it, but didn't realize she was thinking it was out.
Vasquez Gomez gets it through the block. It's 2-2.
She's hitting super efficiently today.
And
6 kills.
That's what the Panthers need. We talked about it, how we know that the ball goes to Stafford and Babcock, but who else can step up offensively?
All right, Geisberger, good dig by Fairbanks. Setting up Alexis Shelton.
Great cut inside. She is just so athletic. It is so much fun to watch her work. She gets big off the net, good transition. That's a hard ball to find too, coming from way behind. Great set though too.
Yeah, by Wallace.
Yeah.
And here's Thompson again. Bree Kelly. Bree Kelly be a difference maker here for Pitt. We've seen it this year. She's hit career highs this season.
Especially as the year has gone on, she has seemingly continued to grow and get better and better and better.
Hitting a mere .514 this year. Cat Flood at 3-3. Good set and kill by Burgess.
And that play gets to run super smoothly because Sydney Thompson throws up an absolute dime and let Peyton Chamberlain go to work, run that offense, and set up Kelly Jo Burgess.
Fairbanks sets up Babcock. And it's 4-4.
These two teams battling here. Pretty much what we saw in the back half of that first set, just point for point and a double block up against Babcock, but
just went over it. And all the way from the back is Shelton, dug by Babcock. And a little overpass. Vasquez Gomez sets up Stafford. Dive by Thompson. And a kill from Oklahoma. Camille Gibson. And back and forth we go.
And Gibson not hitting efficiently, but I feel like her kills are coming at timely points in the match. Second on the team with 5 kills, but only hitting at a 143 clip.
And an ace off the top of the net. Jones in the middle, able to put that away, make it 6-5.
And Kelsey, that's one of the tough rotations for Pitt, as Rachel Fairbanks is out in the 4 and she has to run all the way across, but able to get a good pass, and then that helps for her to have enough time to get over into the right spot.
And that's what's huge about it, is if if you're running all the way across and you got to run all the way back, you're not going to be able to set up a good ball.
Lydia Martin wasn't able to get that one. Vasquez Gomez, and it's 6-6. Valeria of 1,000 kills, 1,000 digs in her career. Nice job saving that by Fairbanks. From the back is Tori Stafford. Gets the crowd here in Pittsburgh on its feet.
Amanda, that's what's so dangerous about this team. You know, Rachel Fairbanks is front row, so she could be an attacker if she wanted to take that second ball over. But when you have both Olivia Babcock and Tori Stafford from the back row, you now have to account for 5 of the 6 players on the floor as attackers.
So tough.
Nice set for Shelton, but too far on the hit.
They're setting her back row attacks 3 to 5 feet off the net. That is how far she's able to both broad jump and high jump to get a hold of that ball.
But that could lead to that moment that we just saw where she has so much power behind her that she can't get on top of the ball.
8-6 Pitt now, 4-0 run and a service error.
And I believe that's the second of the match for Tori Stafford service errors. So one of those things where when you're in a back and forth battle like this, those are the moments that you can't have those kind of errors when you pull yourself ahead with a lead.
Got him!
The quarterback, QB1, puts it down.
When she's up front, you have to account for her.
So sneaky. Just watch how quick this happens. Bam, down.
Oh, that ball hit the ground before Lydia Martin jumped. Gotta know if the setter's front
And then
row.
Lydia says, oh, wait, I gotta go. Way
Oh, that's
too
me,
late.
that's me.
Peripheral vision. Gibson, a little long. Panthers lead is 3. Mallory Meyer into serving. Chamberlain in the block. And Geisberger able to find the back of the court that time.
That's where coverage is so important. It is so crucial, just giving yourself the opportunity to get that ball up again, give yourself another shot at it. You never know what's gonna happen.
And somehow that ball pinballing around in the Oklahoma coverage and coming back. And that's all you have to do, like you said, give yourself a chance to stay in the point.
Good old kill by Bree Kelly, her 4th. Go with a couple of blocks. Rachel Fairbanks to serve. Vasquez Gomez and Stafford with 6 kills each, 7 for Kari Geisberger for Oklahoma. Chamberlain sets up Shelton. Stafford able to keep that one alive. Vasquez Gomez blocked. And we'll try a little off speed. And able to send it over is Oklahoma. Vasquez Gomez and good block on Vasquez Gomez. Seemed like her footing was a little bit off on that jump, and Oklahoma able to get the point.
And I really don't think that she thought the ball was coming to her. So that was the 3rd time in a row in that rotation. But look at the dig by Tori Stafford. But within that point, that was the 3rd time, and you could see Vasquez Gomez kind of stepping back rather than going into the swing, and there was that double block up against her.
Martin after her 5th block with an ace. And it's 11-10. Lydia Martin, I mean, the 5 blocks do seem like not enough with the impact that she's had here. What a set by Fairbanks. But Chamberlain does it just as well. Now Geisberger with the tip. We are 11-all here in set number 2. Panthers had to go a little extra time to win the first set, 28-26.
And it's really been mini runs here. 2 or 3 points here for one team, 2 or 3 points, and bringing them back. And you see the 3-0 scoring run for Oklahoma now.
Rare dig from Bree Kelly. And a block down on Vasquez Gomez. Burgess and Geisberger were in there.
And this is a rotation that's giving Pitt a little bit of trouble right now. They moved from the 2-man serve receive to the 3-man, pulling Valeria Vasquez-Gomez off. And what you're probably going to see here is Olivia Babcock going all the way around to try to be an offensive threat.
4-0 Sooners run ends on a service error. We're back even. Tell you what, if you watch the first 2 sets against UTEP, you're wondering how quickly is Oklahoma going to be leaving, and now they are playing toe-to-toe with the #1 overall seed. Coming off a reverse sweep and carrying that into today. And blocked down this time, Olivia Babcock, Bree Kelly.
And that's that matchup we've been looking for all day, that Olivia Babcock and Alexis Shelton. Of course, you also had Bree Kelly there as well.
+5 in blocks are the Sooners. Geisberger is blocked but out of bounds. Getting the kill is Kari Geisberger. That's 8 for Geisberger.
But Jeff, when you mentioned the blocks for both teams, there was a time early in this match where it was a 3-1 advantage for Pitt. Not a lot, but when you look at it, they've been outblocked 9-3 since that time.
13-all here in set number 2. Tori Stafford able to put that away as you can see Whitney Wallace wanted to get out of the way, let go, but she couldn't. Cat Flood in to serve.
Nice bump set too, on a triple block right over it.
Tori Stafford now with 7 kills to lead Pitt. Little overpass on the bump set attempt, and Olivia Babcock able to put that free one away. Cat Flood serving, Panthers up 2. And a chance here for Pitt. Tori Stafford finds the angle and a 3-point Pitt lead. And Oklahoma wants a timeout. So quickly, you could see that Oklahoma's like, hey, let's just stop this run right now.
Well, also because there was just a timeout because of the media timeout. And then you think, okay, maybe that'll stop the momentum of Pitt. But now they're on a 3-0 scoring run of their own. So even though there was just a timeout called, or that we had, Erin Mansfield says, I need to figure out how we stop this right now.
I'm a fan of using timeouts early and often if you think it is necessary. You know, don't be afraid to pull the trigger on it. And again, just slow down some of these hitters, especially whenever they're staying in system. You're able to get quick fast balls, which I think is why Tori and Valeria are at the top of this, is the speed that they're getting the ball out there with from Rachel Fairbanks. It's giving them an opportunity to not have to face that triple block or double block every single time.
And we've mentioned the blocks by Oklahoma, and understandably so, but Bree Kelly, 4 kills, 3 blocks. She's made an impact in the middle for Pitt.
Don't forget her dig.
And the dig.
She has a dig. I bet you that's probably one of those stats that she's the most proud of as a middle. There's not a lot of occasions of digs for Bree Kelly, but she has one on the stat sheet today.
Lydia Martin has one as well.
Dig.
Middles get digs too, guys, especially the ones that serve.
Vasquez-Gomez was willing to do whatever it took for this Pitt team. Take whatever role. She wants to win a national championship in her final season.
And think about what she's seen in her 6th season at Pitt, the growth that they've had over the course of those years.
Cat Flood, also a senior. Chamberlain sets middle, and Kelly Jo Burgess puts it away.
I really like Peyton Chamberlain's decision-making this set. How she's distributing the ball, where she's picking where to go to. I feel like she's doing a really good job kind of picking apart the defense and putting her hitters in a position to be successful.
Ireland McNeese. And Olivia Babcock is blocked.
And I think that was one of those serves, and credit to McNeese, where it might have been sailing out, but it was too close to call. So that had to be passed by Stafford, but there.
Oh, look at her turning her hands into. Again, you want to press to 6.
Ghost saves it. Stafford able to put something on it. Chamberlain, and a touch saved by Fairbanks. Babcock, and saved by McNeese. And that one, it's hit wide. Boy, a couple of times that rally could have ended, but by some really good plays on each side.
Great defense, and you just got to play scrappy from there. Your setter's out. Somebody's got to go take that second ball.
Oklahoma's done a nice job receiving Babcock's serve. 68 aces on the season. 69 on the season.
Until that one.
Sorry, Sooner fans.
And a few games ago in the regular season, she was able to break the single season record once she hit 64. And you could see there both teammates just look at each other and say, all right, let's regroup. There was nothing either of us could do about that one.
Nearly back-to-back aces. They have a carry.
4 hits.
4 hits.
Yeah.
I thought quickly when I saw that it
yeah.
went off both passers in the back, and just like that, a 4-point lead and the second timeout from Aaron Mansfield in this set.
I'll say this, Aaron Mansfield, his use of timeouts has produced results for Oklahoma so far.
Which I think that's part of your job as a coach. You want to have that gauge and that feel, when does my team need that break? And you kind of got to take that feel early on in the season. Is it at a time whenever, okay, early and you can give them a lot of leeway, or right whenever it's tight?
Or when you have a person that has 69 aces in one season and breaks the single season record, what do you do to stop that? And that's, I think, what he needs to look at his team. And look at the power behind that right there. Neither of them going for it, because it just drops directly between them. I don't know if I've ever seen a serve drop right between two players that landed next to their feet.
See, I feel like in this situation, especially with such a serve as powerful as hers, these 3 passers got to establish their seams early. What I mean by that, are you taking a ball that's to your left, or are you taking a ball that's to your right? The girl in the middle kind of has to know which way am I going to kind of shade towards, and which direction all of the passers are going, to kind of figure out if the ball were to go in between us, all right, who's going for it?
And it also depends on the type of player that's on your right or left, because if you have a strong passer to one side or the other, then you're going to be shading differently. But there you probably had two of the strongest passers that you have on your team, and they still didn't have that communication.
And all 3 of these girls are back row right now. So none of them you have to worry about, they have to transition to get outside to hit. They're all back there just to pass right now.
Olivia Babcock has 120 aces in her career, and she's still in her 2nd season.
And that explains why she is the 2024 ACC Player of the Year, leading the ACC in a multitude of categories to go along with 25 matches of 10+ kills.
And just out on that serve by Babcock. With 1 challenge left and a close one on the last one, Dan Fisher is not going to challenge. I think that was wide. Alakimoha serve, Oklahoma down 3. They were in this position before and took it into extra time in the first set, although a service error gives it right back to the Panthers.
I saw a little smirk on the face of Rachel Fairbanks, as if that ball was coming over, it was going to be her responsibility to pass it up, and she was not going to be ready to do it.
Well, remember, she had an ace off the top of the net earlier, so.
That home net advantage.
Dylan Griffin coming in to serve for Pitt. 4-point lead, Pitt up 1 set. Chamberlain sets middle, and a kill by Lydia Martin. There's no chance there for the Panthers. Martin, that's just her 2nd kill. but obviously she's had an impact in this match.
No chance at that one. Ryla Jones a touch late and not in front of the hitting shoulder of Lydia Martin.
Now the Chamberlain serve. Vasquez Gomez is blocked down and out. No, Pitt thinks they had the point. No, they're now pointing at Pitt. The ref went both sides. And we're gonna have a conversation to see the original ruling on this point. And point to Pitt.
I initially thought that the ball went off of the block and then out of play. So we'll see here. Yeah, off.
Yeah,
off
it hit
the
the
arm,
antenna on the way down, which it's dead.
and then off of the hand of, I believe that was Geisberger.
That was actually a really nice tool with a really tight set.
Chamberlain sets it over to Geisberger. Fairbanks finds Babcock, who's blocked down by Kari Geisberger.
And that's what you can do when you're 6'7".
I mean, this Sooners block has done a pretty good job the entire match against Olivia Babcock, which is not easy to do. I mean, how many games have you seen Olivia Babcock hitting in the negative?
6 blocks, 8 kills. Whitney Wallace in the serve. The Sooners down 3 late here in the second. Fairbanks tried a quick set to Kelly. Free ball here for Oklahoma. Stafford gets to the floor. Vasquez Gomez is blocked down. Babcock able to get a point for Pitt when it seemed like Oklahoma was in control the whole time.
I have no clue how Pitt kept that point alive.
That is the difference coverage can make. And what a beautiful up by Tori Staff here. But look, all right, just Emmy Klicka just being there and having your arms out and ready. Sometimes it is just a little bit of luck, but if you're putting yourself in the right position, you might get lucky and get that second touch, which puts your team in a chance to get the point.
Chamberlain back set, Geisberger puts it away. 9 kills for Kari. Oklahoma stays alive here at 22-19.
Amanda, for someone as tall as Kari Geisberger, she works really well off tempo sets, which normally you'd think, hey, if you're that tall, just send it up nice and high, let her work over it, but she works really well off of a fast ball.
And that makes it even harder for the defense to get set up in time to go up against someone that's 6'7".
Wilden LeBoy into serve and a service error.
And that's, I want to say, the second time in this match that she's only come in to serve and missed her serve the first time that she's in.
Which I think speaks a lot to, you know, both teams have groups of kind of spot servers. That is not an easy job. You're coming off the bench cold and you're being asked to do something very difficult.
Vasquez Gomez with an ace to set up set point.
What a moment for VVG. You can see the float serve just dies right in front of Wallace.
Great movement on that ball.
37th of the season. Chamberlain. And good kill by Kelly Jo Burgess. Burgess now with 6 kills.
And that was a great tempo set that you were talking about, but it was just on the inside of the outside hitter, so the block really wasn't set up for that 3 ball.
Thompson. Tori Stafford kept alive by Oklahoma. Chamberlain calls for it to Shelton. Shelton puts it away. The Sooners just keep fighting. Sam Fisher's going to call a timeout.
And I think a good moment. You don't want Oklahoma to continue on this momentum. Make the server have to think about their serve right now and just slow down the Sooners offense as they have done a great job of climbing their way back.
You know, one of the things I think we're seeing not just here tonight, but across the whole tournament, not parity, but there's more balance than there ever has been in women's volleyball, where 8 seeds can give a top seed a run, whereas maybe 5-10 years ago, you just didn't see it like we're seeing it now.
But we're seeing it on both sides. We're seeing every match you watch. There is talented players everywhere. It is no longer that the top of the food chain has everyone. It is players on both sides that have it. And this is a good example here. Look at this dig by Kimura, just getting her hands up and flat to get the ball nice and high up into the air. And then you let Alexis Shelton do what Alexis Shelton does, and that is go to work. Look at that. High, flat hands. All she's trying to do is get the ball up. She's not even trying to direct it very much. Just let me get my palms underneath it, big, strong, flat hands, and let that ball bounce.
And then able to just find a crack in that block between Bree Kelly and Olivia Babcock, which is typically hard to find. Very sound blockers, both of them, but when you combine together, usually a very difficult double block to go up against.
Still set point for Pitt after the Dan Fisher timeout. Thompson will serve. The crowd on its feet here, Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh. A near ace out of the timeout. Olivia Babcock ends set number 2.
On almost a miss hit, if you will.
It was,
a little bit of a paintbrush.
Going for it, and it really looked like it was sailing out, but the Panthers squeaking out another victory here in this set.
So the Panthers had to go extra time in the first set, won 25-21 here in the second. A huge third set coming here in Pittsburgh. But Pitt has won the first 2 sets, with the third set coming here, as Pitt is the top overall seed. You look at the 1 seeds, Nebraska, Penn State, who's had a really good run here at 29-2, and the Louisville Cardinals, who will host the Final Four at 25-5. Now that being said, with Louisville is in a tough match tonight. The Cardinals taking on UNI, and they are in the 5th set of their match against UNI. Kind of speaks to that balance we're seeing in college volleyball.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, hey, in March you have madness. We have some chaos around Christmas. We have some holiday havoc. We're gonna have to workshop a couple names. We'll figure it out though, but look at these scores. This is what happens at this time of the year in the tournament.
And look at Florida up on Kansas right now.
And North Carolina taking a set from Penn State. That's what we love about this time of year. Welcome inside the Peterson Event Center. Jeff Hathorn, Kelsey Bonk, Amanda Siley. And we have seen some really good play, especially from Kari Geisberger, the 6'7" stud for Oklahoma.
She has been outstanding in this match for the Sooners, and she's doing it everywhere. She's doing it on the outside. She is doing it on the right side, mixing up her shots, really using her length to her advantage, which is what you want to see. And then, of course, you're 6'7". You're going to rack up some blocks. That's just what you do when you are 6'7".
I love the excitement, too, there. Just getting into it with her teammates. But we want to highlight again, why not? Twice as nice for Rachel Fairbanks, who's had a stellar game of her own here. Just setting all over the court with her arms, with her hands, moving everywhere. Her passers not making it easy at times, but she's making it look easy and spreading the ball around to her hitters as well. Just doing a phenomenal job. And why not get in on the offensive action as well, picking up a kill for herself.
25 assists, 3 digs for Fairbanks. Geisberger is near a double-double as we head to the third set. Oklahoma was here yesterday, down 2 sets to love. Little tougher competition than they faced with UTEP, no disrespect, but Oklahoma has done this.
But you also have to remember that Oklahoma has played way better in neutral sites and on the road than they did at home this season. So that's a big factor in looking at, okay, yeah, they're down 0-2. Like you said, they were down 0-2 last night, but they also have played much better in rough environments.
So, Kelsey, what does that speak to? Is that mental toughness? Is that what makes a team able to win so much on the road?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it, you know, you can, again, on the road is hard. You're not in your normal system, but at the end of the day, volleyball is still volleyball. You're still playing the same game, whether you're at home or on the road. And I think for them, it's about staying loose, having fun. You know, the coach, Manfield, talked about that a little bit with us, how that is the type of play they like to have, nice and loose. You see them dancing right now. They're down 0-2. They're dancing. They're having a good time, ready to turn it on.
Yeah, he told us that they're big on not wanting to have to choose between having fun and working hard. And we see a little bit of that having fun, but now they're going to need to work hard here down 0-2.
Oklahoma to serve here to start it. And a quick set is blocked out of bounds by Martin.
But they knew exactly what Pitt wanted to do. They love going quick to their middle early on in a set. And Lydia Martin ready for it, just not able to get her hand on it as it went off her forearm.
Fairbanks. Dive there by Kima to keep it alive. Vasquez Gomez. Fairbanks will set Vasquez Gomez. She is blocked straight down. Kari Geisberger.
The triple block again. There's just not a lot of room to work with there when you have 3 girls in front of you all throwing their hands over the net, taking up a lot of space.
And I know Fairbanks loves to go back to back with her hitters, but I think with this triple block that Oklahoma does, she really needs to start thinking about moving the ball around a little bit more on those occasions.
Maybe a second team all SEC. And saw there's a moment there where you thought about letting that one go by Chamberlain. Panthers, Tori Stafford, dug by Chamberlain. Alexis Shelton winds up and puts that away.
And some big defense in that play from Peyton Chamberlain. So great out of system play from Oklahoma, Kelsey.
Just want you to know that in the stands right by us here, the beer was saved. So
that's the important thing.
Yeah, there was some relief. Puck dug. There's Shelton. And there is the one-on-one there. Shelton and Babcock.
And that went off of the hand of Babcock, off of, it looked like the face of Shelton, and then out of play. We'll take a look at it here. But a great job, Babcock, one-on-one. And it's really quick to see in that angle, but it did go off of Shelton.
Vasquez Gomez with the big ace late in the second set. Good dig by Klicka. And now the Panthers are just going to have to set it over at 2-2. Chamberlain middle set, and Kelly Jo Burgess with 7 kills.
And I love establishing the middle on that free ball. Again, you said it earlier about establishing the middle for Pitt. I think both teams want to do that. Get your middle involved early. It's going to help create one-on-one opportunities for your pins.
Thompson to serve. Banks sets up Stafford. Good dig by Thompson. And out on the hit by Shelton. It's 4-2 Panthers. Flood. And good decision. That is that shove we've seen this year, that time by Alexis Shelton. And it is.
I love that play when you can contact it high. You can throw it right to the ground nice and fast. Get it out quick. Again, you don't want that in your hand long. You got to get it right on those fingertips, and you got to release it quick.
Fairbanks sets up Babcock. Good dig by Kimoa. And a tip snuffed out by Fairbanks. And a block at the net. Not getting quite to the net.
That was
because of the block.
A huge dig on the back line for Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure that Olivia Babcock had free reign at the net. There was not a blocker up with her on that swing, and so credit the backline defense of Kimoha for picking that up.
Service error. 5-4.
And it looks like they're starting to use Kimoha more in 6 this set rather than in the 5 zone. So kind of mixing up the defense a little bit, seeing what works. Well, again, maybe just spark a fire, see if that gets you a little bit better looks offensively.
Sheldon has come a long way for that. And it seemed like Olivia may have taken something a little off that serve.
Played it a little bit more conservatively. I would agree.
There are times, especially at Pitt's main home at the field house, where it sounds like a cannon when she hits it. And that's a service error. 6-5 Sooners. Kimoha to serve. From the middle and in is Olivia Babcock. Just 8 kills for Babcock. Tori Stafford with 9. Vasquez Gomez 7. 5 for Bree Kelly.
You take a look at this. Lydia Martin guessing wrong, and that left no one up to block Babcock coming from the back row.
The 8th assist for Rachel Fairbanks. And battle at the net. Oklahoma gets another shot. And blocked down this time, Ryla Jones.
It really is a block party on both sides. I mean, just great job being super physical up front, getting to the ball quick, and then sealing that tape up.
And there the set coming from Alexis Shelton, and then the block just camping out on the outside.
She put up a good ball, though.
All the way from the back is Alexis Shelton. You mentioned it yesterday, Kelsey, what she did in track. I would have loved to have seen some of that footage.
Oh my gosh. I just know she was a super, I just know she was lapping girls out there.
Vasquez Gomez. So an error from Oklahoma.
And that's a tough one, as that ball looked to have gone out of bounds, but then in the net. So just trying to press too much to get that attack from Vasquez Gomez.
Mallory Meyer in to serve. 8-7 Panthers here in the 3rd, and just sails wide. Good decision by Oklahoma. They didn't sweat it for a second and a half.
Good call. Chest high, let it fly.
That almost dropped in, though. So close. It landed right at the feet of that line judge.
And again, we're tight. 28-26, 25-21. Now 8-8. Babcock had to adjust on that hit and was still able to put it away.
It seemed like Babcock was just levitating in the air. Somehow she stayed up because she got up too early on that ball, but was able to hang in the air and just get enough on it.
Her and Shelton from the back row is like angelic.
Just soaring through the air to
Unless
the front
you're on
row.
the other side.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they would describe it that way.
Kimoha is able to send it over Fairbanks. Again, that middle kill, Bree Kelly. 6 for Kelly. Panthers have a 2-point lead.
Almost automatic on a free ball that whatever middle
absolutely.
is in the front for the Panthers is going to get a touch.
And she's picking up right where she left off the whole season, still hitting over 500.
Back set to Geisberger. Kari Geisberger now with 10. Good point there from the Sooners.
Perfect pass from Kimoha there, and what I really like about that is they've avoided her pretty well. I mean, who wants to serve it to the libero? That's usually a recipe for this to happen, where that setter can run a really fast offense off of it.
And really nice serve from Lydia Martin, and able to put away the easy one is Geisberger. When you're having a night, those balls find you, don't they?
They do, and I mean, when you're 6'7", it's a lot easier of a target to be able to find when the ball has
Your
eyes.
range
I
is just
sense
really
that
big.
you wish you were 6'7".
I do. She has a foot on me, you know.
Oklahoma able to keep that alive. And the Panthers put it right back down a little over. And Bree Kelly able to finish that.
A girl can dream, Jeff, okay?
Girl, guy. I was 6'7".
You're close. You don't get to complain.
This goes Gomez. And
Oh!
I think the Panthers learned from when they didn't finish off those easy ones. Babcock finished that one off.
You got to make them pay.
But still, Dan Fisher does not look happy. I mean, could you just a little smile after that one? I mean, look at that. Players try to use their feet, their arms, everything.
Just hitting that is Shelton. Saved by Kimoha. Shelton trying to time this. She's blocked down. Kelly and Babcock in on the block.
They called a net violation on Pitt there.
On Kelly.
Oh, getting their arms back in. Great first block. Then on that second block, also a good block, but we did get a little bit of the net as well.
Oh, it had to just be such a slight touch.
And Thompson with the service error gives it right back. That is the 8th service error by Oklahoma.
And lucky for the Panthers is Thompson has a tough serve. She has that jump serve. It really comes down at you really quick and strong.
It's hitting 239 to 191 for Oklahoma. And Cat Flood nearly gets the ace. Good save by Thompson. Now Flood the dig. Setting up Olivia Babcock, who's blocked down. Shelton gets the better of that one.
These two in an absolute battle right now, because again, these are the two girls that get the majority of the sets for their respective teams, so they're going to get a lot of touches. And look at that.
Just all over
all
the net.
over it.
Beautiful set, beautiful swing, but even better block. Look how far over the net she was.
Panthers just have to send that one over. Chance here for Oklahoma to tie it. Back set to Shelton.
So she's trying to get to that ball before it gets onto the Oklahoma side, even if it is outside of the antenna, outside of the court. That's where Dan Fisher's thinking, hey, I thought she was trying to get that.
Waiting to see what Dan was going to do, and that one sails long.
Just a
Panthers
friendly
get the lead back.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
That actually is about as friendly as we've seen.
Exactly.
Give Babcock to serve. Slide by Shelton. Gather that one in. The battle at the net. Kimoa overpass. But Oklahoma able to save that. Chamberlain. A tip. Fairbanks sets up Babcock. She's blocked. Or Stafford, rather. There's Babcock. Great save by Shelton. And Panthers see it as just a little long, and it was. That was one of the better points of this match. Panthers lead it here in the third, 15-13.
This ball was way too close for comfort, man. If I'm Dan Fisher, I'm saying if you think that ball is out, get a mile away from it, as they were both camped out right there.
Well, and Rachel Fairbanks played me. She went up with both arms. I was like waiting for her to hit it.
Well, we saw earlier with Emmy Klicka and Vasquez Gomez.
True.
Where they made that decision and it was the wrong one. Babcock on top of her serve here tonight. Babcock, the set for Stafford.
Wow. Great out-of-system play.
And Olivia Babcock just padding her stats now. 11 kills, an assist, an ace, 3 digs, 4 blocks. And now Tori Stafford in double figures for the Panthers in kills.
Near a double-double for Stafford. For Olivia Babcock, she has 70 on the season.
And how about coming out of the media timeout to do that? And now they're trying to essentially ice her again.
You know, we saw a couple of matches ago where Olivia was struggling with her serve, but she has found something. So the consistency, sometimes she's taken a little off of it, but she's had a very high success rate for the difficulty of that serve.
Yeah, this type of serve is way harder to keep consistent. You know, when you're hitting that float serve, you're just trying to hit that same ball nice and flat, get some movement on it so it looks like a knuckleball. But this is a fastball, and there are times that you are going to miss the strike zone on a fastball. Also, with how high she has to toss it, if you're tossed a little high, a little low, that all plays a factor into it.
The timing of it as well. So how high the toss is, you think about how much she probably practices flipping that ball up, and then also, like I said, the timing, if anything is off just a little bit, and I think what we've seen when she's taken a little bit off of the ball is her adjusting to her toss, which I think shows the growth that she has had into her second season, because before in her freshman season, she would just throw it and rip it. No matter what was going on, just throw it and rip it. But now you can see that she has learned and is able to adjust when that ball is not quite where she needs it to be.
Which is part of that growth and development, you know? And it happens in all facets of the game, but for her specifically, I would say her serve was her most inconsistent part, so getting this growth and getting this consistency is going to be huge for the Panthers down the stretch.
It's a 4-0 Pitt run. We've seen Oklahoma in the first 2 sets watch Pitt get in front, and they fought right back to take a tooth and nail to the end, especially in that first set. Pitt won 28-26. Nice bump set, but
and the timeout,
Ryla Jones right there,
doesn't work there for Erin Mansfield. He had to take a chance with the run that she was on, try to slow her down, but Babcock, her serve on another level tonight.
Set and out. Oklahoma gets it back.
And these setters' ability to keep these hitters in rhythm and with lower tempo balls, I mean, she's almost on the end line, and she only sets that ball about 1.5 feet above the net.
28 assists for Chamberlain. Kimala to serve. Oklahoma down 4, and there it is again. From one quarterback to another.
This is an absolute clinic that these two are putting on right now.
Such a timely play. Rachel Fairbanks doesn't do it often, but watch here. Again, Lydia Martin, not ready. She just tries to throw it up with one arm.
But that's what it is. It's about timing. Setters who do it too much, it becomes obvious. It's about picking your moments.
If Patrick Mahomes was a setter, I think he would be Rachel Fairbanks.
Absolutely. That's because that's what you're looking for. You're trying to make that decision, put your team in a position to be successful. It's too tight.
That's a little far. Oklahoma able to keep it alive. Now a chance here for Pitt. Babcock from the back, and just too much power, and it's 19-14.
I think that was off an Oklahoma Sooner noggin, Jeff. Off a noggin. We'll take a look here.
Is that off the dome piece of a Sooner? Oh, or was that hand?
Somewhere. Somewhere in that play.
Ooh, cranium's gonna hurt later.
And I think that was a play where they were really pushing it to try to get that to work. So Peyton Chamberlain is off the net. Lydia Martin's also off the net. Try to go behind her setter in the middle of the court on that play, very, very difficult.
8-1 scoring run. If I'm Coach Mansfield, I'm thinking I got to use my last time out here.
So good with the serve. That's a little too far. Oklahoma is able to keep it alive and nearly make a point out of it. Babcock, good dig by Thompson. Mill gets it over to Lydia Martin, and Lydia Martin with a big kill to get it back to Oklahoma.
But another one of those plays where Pitt has an overpass and they don't get it down.
There was 2 in that run.
And that's something that I think Coach Fisher is really going to want his team to improve upon in this set alone, but if they move forward.
Oh, and an ace for Peyton Chamberlain. Now it's 5. And Pitt's going to call a timeout. I'm believing that some of the things you guys were just discussing are probably being discussed right now.
It's just when you have the opportunity and a relatively easy opportunity to finish a play, you need to do it. But take a look here, the flat-footed serve. But what it's doing is, so a lot of times when you look at Kelsey at the top spin serves, they're coming down and they're dropping, so you need to get your arms under it. But with this Peyton Chamberlain serve, it's actually rising as it's going past you. So you have to decide at the last moment, am I going to be able to get my arms around it, or do I have to try to get my hands? And then a lot of these players are getting handcuffed.
So it went 5 sets in Louisville. And the Cardinals were able to find a way. They faced a match point against, but were able to win in the 5th set 22-20. And that might be a spark for Louisville to kind of escape that as some momentum going forward.
Yeah, and look at all of the tight sets. We got extra points in the 1st set, tons of extra points in the 5th set, as that set normally only goes to 15. I mean, you got to feel good getting out of that one, but you know, we'll workshop another one. December drama, we are seeing it all across the bracket.
Love to see it. With the growth of the sport, we're seeing the growth of so many programs.
I mean, years ago, who would have ever thought that UNI would take Louisville to 5 sets and have a match point?
We had 2 7 seeds last night pull off upsets.
So Louisville survives as a top seed. The pressure for them with the Final Four on their court. And Vasquez Gomez able to hit it through. And Pitt is 3 points from advancing to the 3rd round. Mallory comes in to serve. Bree Kelly in the middle. And Geisberger just a little long.
Might get a challenge, yeah.
I mean, at this point,
it's worth it either way.
But that line judge was all over it, and it wasn't one of those really quick swings either, because Geisberger just had to kind of reach back and launch that one forward.
It looked more like a serve than a hit because it came out really flat.
Ooh. Wow.
She was right there.
I don't know.
That angle made it. Let's see. It falls. Oh,
might be in.
I think that
touched.
Wow. I thought because it was going slower that she had every advantage to be able to see.
Okay, but there it's look.
When you rock it back and forth, maybe. Again, it goes off of what the call initially was, and that was out. So they have to find the video evidence that says it was clearly in. Is this the video evidence? But also, this is what we are seeing. This is not what the down ref is looking at right now.
If they're seeing this look, I'm thinking it's clear, which we are seeing on our end now is confirmed. Ball in.
So 22-17 now. As we see Peyton Chamberlain just trying to keep the mood light, dancing with Kimoa.
You gotta love that from your leader, though. Trying to keep everybody engaged, still having fun. Just 1 point at a time is all you're looking for.
Oklahoma's had late runs previously in this match. They need another one now. Gomez blocked down. Geisberger.
And Oklahoma not going away. They have their big three in the front right now: Geisberger, Shelton, and Martin.
And Martin credited with that. That's her 8th. 8 also for Geisberger. And the deficit is 4. Fairbanks has to go a long way. Sets up Vasquez. Gomez, who tips it perfectly.
Which, great tip, but yeah, would have been a net violation either way.
But what a decision there by Vasquez Gomez.
But that's what the triple block opens up. All of a sudden, you have 3 girls trying to take up the whole rest of the floor.
And especially if you can go in that 4 spot, because that's completely wide open, because you have Shelton coming all the way over for that triple block.
10 kills for Vasquez Gomez tonight. 1 of 3 in double figures, and a ace. Or apologies to my English teacher, an ace.
I love the follow on the back line there, making sure.
We are at match point. Shelton is going to keep this thing going.
I mean, if you're going to set someone with match point, I think it's got to be Alexis Shelton. You got to put the ball in her hands.
A dozen for her, a dozen for Kari Geisberger, 12 for Olivia Babcock, 10 for Vasquez Gomez and Stafford. Ireland McNeese. That one would have been tight. Olivia Babcock, though, puts it away, and the Panthers advance to the 3rd round.
And it was tight to start this match, into the 2nd as well, but somehow, some way, the Panthers get it done.